Hello everybody, this is Connor, BoatsDon'tSink, here with another week of Weekly Weiss. I would like to apologize, first off, for this one being a few days late instead of the usual Friday. Part of this was because I have been completely consumed by Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak the last couple of days since it released. But also, I wanted to save this one for the end of the weekend instead of the beginning, because this past weekend was Anime Expo 2022. And I didn't want to put out a Weekly Weiss on Friday and then a bunch of news come over the weekend at Anime Expo and just have to wait an entire another week to post anything about it, especially since last week was rather uneventful on its own. And we had pretty good reason to believe that Anime Expo would have some good news for us, since this was posted to the Bushiroad Facebook page, saying that there would be a panel at Anime Expo with the latest news on both Cardfight Vanguard and Weiss Schwarz. In addition, there'll be a presentation on the development process from start to end, with a Q&A session. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend Anime Expo, so I don't know everything that happened in this panel, but I can cover a little bit of it in this video. Otherwise, this is going to be a pretty short one since Anime Expo is pretty much the only thing that happened. The morning of the first day of Anime Expo, this picture was posted to the Weiss Schwarz social media, Twitter, Facebook, etc. The two promos on the left, the Eren from Attack on Titan and Climax from Maid Dragon Maid, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. We knew about those already. Those had been posted in the past. However, there is a third promo here that is not one we knew about, and also a card for a set that has not been announced at this point in any language, Chainsaw Man. So this got people pretty excited. It was strange to see a promo, for a set that hadn't been announced in either English or Japanese. Looking at the card just from this picture, we can see that this set is S96, and it does have a Japanese card name, meaning we knew right away this was not going to be an English original set. S96, putting it right after, I believe Kaguya-sama set 2 is S95. D4DJ has been shown as S97. And we haven't seen any cards from Overlord Volume 2, but that is expected to be S98. So card numbering is sort of all over the place here. So we don't really have a great idea on when this is going to release. But when people did arrive at the convention, Bushiroad had their booth set up, and there was this poster at the booth saying Chainsaw Man coming soon to Weiss Schwarz. So this was, confirmation that we were going to get a set for it if the promo alone wasn't enough confirmation. As with Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Now we had it, confirmation this was going to be releasing. Later the same day, the Japanese Weiss Schwarz Twitter page posted Chainsaw Man coming soon in 2023, trial deck and booster pack. So 2023 makes sense. As far as I'm aware, the anime will start airing in October. So assuming this is a set for the anime and not the manga, which I think it is more likely to be the anime, we'll be getting, anime one seasonal air from from October to December, meaning January at the earliest for the set. I don't know whether Chainsaw Man is supposed to be 12 or 24 episodes, or 1 or 2 cores. If it's 2, that might run until March. We might not get the set until, say, April or May. But sometime in 2023 after the anime ends is the best guess. And I would say that since they were announcing this so early at AX, it's fairly likely, I think, that they'll attempt either an English first or simultaneous release, as they attempted with Tokyo Revengers. Whether that'll actually work out and happen, who knows? But I expect that's going to be their plan. Especially I know there's been a ton of hype for Chainsaw Man in the West, especially when it was announced that Mappa would be animating it after Jujutsu Kaisen and whatnot. So yeah, I think that might be their goal there. However, at the panel itself, no mention was made of Chainsaw Man whatsoever. They had some slides with the upcoming releases, and it was just nowhere to be found. They didn't even say anything about it, which I find kind of strange. I feel like, you know, if you're trying to build up this new set announcement, there should at least just be a slide that like has that image. It's like Chainsaw Man coming soon or something. But nope, nothing. The only real thing of value that we did get in the panel was this picture. They were talking about card ability development here. I don't know what they actually said, since I wasn't there, but we do get this image of a Levi level 0 from Attack on Titan final season, and in a better picture here, you can see that core trait is returning to some extent in the booster, though we do know that some of the Eren cards are not core. It's possible that Eren will be getting, you know, yellow core cards and maybe green not core cards. It's hard to say. The only Erens that we've seen are the promo vanilla from Anime Expo, which is green, and the trial deck cover card is an Eren, and that card should be green based on the card numbering. We've seen like T03 and T04 from the trial deck, and they're both green, meaning there should be no yellow in the trial deck. But looking at this Levi itself, it is a Ricky effect, as we call them. On play from hand, pay 1, put the top card of your deck into your clock, search your deck for a level 1 or lower character, reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle your deck, and whenever your other Eldian or core character attacks, gets 1000 power. So, decent card. This is a profile that sees play in pretty much every deck. It's interesting to note that we do also have the Irwin promo from the Shop Assist promos that is pay 1, clock 1, search your deck for a cost 0. It doesn't say your level or lower on that card. We have a feeling that's going to be errated. As of now, it can summon... so it search your deck for a cost 0, put it on any position of your stage. So as of now, it can summon 1/0s at level 0. But as I said, we think that'll be errated. So that gives you 2 options for pay 1, clock 1, get something out of your deck. Levi will obviously be the required one if Eldian is a relevant trait that you need on stage, since Irwin is not. However, they both are green, which works with some of the set 2 cards. So we'll have to see which one of those ends up actually being better. I have a feeling it could potentially be Irwin if they don't errata him, but that's unlikely. It's also worth noting, I wouldn't get hopes up too high just yet for this set supporting a lot of core. It's possible that it does. It's possible that all of the old characters that are returning are going to be core trait, and there's a lot of support for it. But it's also possible that this is like Sword Art Alicization, for example, where almost the entire set focuses on the new traits, and there's just a couple of support cards, just a handful, like the Asuna Musashi, the Asuna Drop Search, etc., that work for the old traits. We'll have to see. I think it's too early to really say anything for sure, especially considering we know that characters like Gabby and Falco will not be core trait. So I definitely think it's too early to say anything for sure, but this does give some glimmer of hope that there will be at least an amount of core support in the booster pack. Moving on, the other thing that they had at the panel was a Q&A. There wasn't really a whole lot of value asked from what I can tell, though some of the questions that I think are worth mentioning. Are there any plans for a Weiss Schwarz online platform similar to the new Card Fight Vanguard game releasing on Switch and Steam? The answer was no. This is pretty much what I would expect. Getting licenses to put all of these titles into a game is probably an absolute nightmare, and it would be very unfortunate to have to produce the game missing some titles. So yeah, I don't think it's really a realistic thing to expect. Another question, why bring over Sayakano instead of something more recent? Answer was in preparation for extra support that the set is getting, so pretty much confirms set 2 and 3 for Sayakano will be releasing. I don't know the question that this was mentioned as a response to, but one thing I did hear was that they are looking toward video games potentially for more English titles. I don't know what genre that could be, whether RPGs which I feel like would probably be more popular in Japanese than an English original, but maybe also like fighting games. You know, the fighting game community is pretty huge worldwide, but also in the West. And Japan has gotten games or sets in the past for games like King of Fighters, so it's possible that's something they're looking at. Nothing was really confirmed by any means, but they said that's just a direction they're looking. People asked, you know, if we'd ever get a set for like One Piece or DBZ or whatever. Answer is those series have their own card games, so getting the license would be very difficult. Don't expect it, etc. Pretty much all things that we would expect as answers at this point. I don't believe anything else really big was asked that gave us a whole lot of information on anything. So yeah, that's pretty much it for AX. It was pretty disappointing. We were expecting at least a few set announcements. Last year at AX, they announced everything from Ruby through the Bang Dream Extra Boosters and Rent a Girlfriend and Mushoku Tensei and Hololive. So we got December through April, all at AX last year, and this year we got a big poster on like our big wall that said Chainsaw Man coming soon, and they didn't even mention it as an actual announcement. So pretty disappointing on that front. But yeah, that's pretty much all we had from AX. So one last thing to mention before we close out. The Bushiroad Rumble Online 2022 prizes page did update, so we know what the promo that the winners of Bushiroad Rumble Online 2022 will be receiving. This is 4 copies to first place, 2 copies to second, 1 copy to third, I believe. It is an Attack on Titan card, a Climax Declaration of War. This is on a choice trigger, which is kind of interesting, given what I said about the Eren cards that we've seen earlier, with them only being in green. So this pretty much gives some proof that at least some number of Eren cards will exist in yellow. Maybe he'll be both yellow and green. Or maybe potentially he's just like only green in the trial deck because they couldn't also fit yellow. Who knows? But there is at least one choice trigger in Attack on Titan final season, and it probably involves an Eren and or Reiner. Alternatively, this could just be a Climax that is a promo and doesn't combo with anything. We literally have no idea. Because that is the case for the Danmachi Standby. That's going to be the entry promo for BCS 2022. So yeah, this really tells us nothing other than it looks really cool. But yeah, that's about it. Good luck to everyone trying to win this card. That will not be me. And that's about it. This week was rather uneventful otherwise. I have a feeling next week will be the same, so we'll have to figure out what to talk about then. But thank you for watching. You can find me at BoatsDon'tSink on Twitter, and you can check out our store at Iron City Games on Facebook and ironcitygames.tcgplayerpro.com. We've got all sorts of singles. We'll be having Danmachi coming up soon, and we have recently put up our Fate Grand Order Camelot singles. So go check those out, build some decks, have fun, and hopefully we'll get some more interesting news in the future. With that, I will see you all next week.